Give me a little intro there, Gomer.
There's no turning back now.
Let's put on the show.
You're listening to the Station 71 podcast. My name is Mario, and this week I'm joined by my co-hosts,
Beth?
And Brian.
So this is going to be kind of a weird one this week. We jumped on at not our usual time to chat about something that's kind of happening as we're talking about it. So if this gets dated by the time we release it, I apologize. I apologize for any weird recordings or anything that's going on, but we felt like we needed to talk about this. Disney's had some shakeups in the last couple days, guys. How are we feeling?
I use the term careful optimism yet again. See, I think this is a really good chance to see how much of an impact the CEO of Disney actually has, or how much it's the people around him, because I feel like a lot of stuff has changed within the company since Iger stepped down last time. So we'll see. It's got a chance again. Wonder if it's different.
Yeah, I think you're right that cautious optimism is definitely the operative phrase here. I never loved Iger to begin with, but I certainly like him more than Chapek, so hopefully he'll see all of the things that the community has been screaming about during Chapek's leadership and say, oh, okay, so maybe I should, reverse some of those decisions or do better in some way.
For those that aren't in the know, which I don't know how you could be, because I feel like Brian and I were talking before we even hit the record button. This has been something that I feel like non-Disney people have been asking me about and talking about around me, and it's very weird. Bob Chapek has been ousted from the Disney company. He was let go Sunday night with the announcement that Bob Iger would be returning as the CEO for a 2-year term, which is just absolutely wild. This was not at all on my bingo card. For you guys on here, I have a special recording from Sunday night from the Walt Disney offices that I'd like to play for you for a second.
Oh my god.
That but on a serious note, it's funny because I'm not funny, I guess I should say, but like I don't know if has there ever been a more universally hated CEO than Chapek has been? Because not only was he not popular with the Disney fandom at large, but it also seems like he wasn't making it happen in the financials either, so not many people within the Disney Corporation liked him either.
I don't think so. And what's absolutely bizarre to me is, like, I know we've talked about Disney War before on here, but like watching this in real time has genuinely felt like reading Disney War again, because there's just been so much that's going on, and it's not just like, Chapek was asked to step down and then Iger was put in place. Like, this all feels really sudden too. Like, a lot of the talk has been that this has been being planned for a while, and it just kind of was like, as it was happening, that was how we were hearing about it. It just kind of like spiraled and went very public very quickly. So this is very much like end of Eisner era ousting almost.
Well, I'm gonna say, if that really is the case, then for once Disney did a pretty good job of keeping it under wraps, because I think this caught everybody blindsided.
So what I was reading, and I don't know if this is like 100% the case because I've read it on a couple different places, that apparently he had gotten the offer on Friday night, but the plan had been like there was a committee to actually get Chapek out going for a while, which
Ooh,
is
scandalous.
it's crazy. It genuinely does feel like another Disney war.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say in terms of like I guess negativity is I feel like we shouldn't get our hopes up for everything to go back to the way that they were. And
Oh,
I also
definitely not.
don't think that we should plan to see any changes because 2 years is really not that long of a time. Like, I don't know. I don't see him extending his term because Iger was pretty happy to walk away. The other thing that was I remember reading was that he took a relatively low compensation bonus like this time around, I guess compared to his salary before, which I mean that's probably more money than I'm making, but at the same time, if he
And
came back for a reason for lower money, like that just to me says something was wrong.
Yeah. I just feel like I don't want to like rain on the parade of everybody that's really excited to see JPEG gone because I am obviously, but I think one thing that people need to keep in mind is that a lot of the stuff that JPEG was kind of I don't know pinned for were already in the works before he stepped in, which means that Iger had a part in a lot of the things that everybody has hated about Chapek's leadership the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So it's like he's not a good guy. He's just a better guy. I think is the problem.
Yeah. Well,
well,
that's good.
I would say on the positive spin as a counterpoint to that yes, a lot of that stuff was going on, but at least you can look at this situation and say that the Disney Corporation as a whole is able to look at some of the things that have been getting negative feedback and that haven't been working out and are trying to do something to change that. And replacing the
Yeah.
CEO the big way of trying to do that.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I just think, I mean, that's my whole thing has been, like you said at the start, cautious optimism. I think that this is like it's promising, but I don't think that we're going to see reversals on everything. Now, granted, he's already kind of said that he wants to try to undo some of the things. My favorite part about this is that he said that he wants to honor and respect the creativity as the heart and soul of who we are because he felt like the soul of Disney was lost, which is like kind of wild because we've been saying that for a while. Like,
Right.
I feel like everybody's been in the last couple of years saying like, the animated movies don't feel the same, like the parks don't feel the same, and it's just, I guess, like Brian said, it's interesting to hear that, they kind of were listening in a sense, and that like other people noticed it. Like it's kind of validating in a way.
Mhm. Yeah, I think Chapek made that comment about how animated movies are only for children, and that was maybe like the final straw for them.
Could you imagine if that actually was the final straw?
I
I mean,
honestly wouldn't be surprised. He's like ostracizing a huge part
yeah.
of the fandom by saying stuff like that.
It's
I
true.
mean, and that's the thing. Maybe this is finally the change that you see that if you have a CEO that is directly affecting the public image of Disney like that. I mean, like Disney's worked for years to build themselves as the go-to in family entertainment, not children's entertainment, family entertainment. And yeah, for your CEO to come out and say something like that, that goes directly against the values of the company.
Yeah.
The whole thing feels bizarre, and I feel like as it's coming out, I feel like every time I read a new article about it, I feel like we're just going deeper down that rabbit hole. One thing I did want to discuss with you guys is like, what do you think are immediate changes that he can make? I mean, obviously, right now, I said 2 years is a relatively short amount of time. Like, if you think about the projects and stuff that go into place, but genuinely, like, what can he do to bring goodwill back to the company?
I mean, I feel like if it were me, the first response would be to get rid of the park reservation system I know
Yeah.
that's not going to happen, but I feel like that would instill a lot of goodwill, and that is something that he could possibly do because realistically, it's like the parks already have a max capacity, and when they reach that capacity, you know, on big holidays like Christmas and New Year's and Halloween and stuff like that, they start turning people away. So it's not like getting rid of the park reservation system would make there not be that capacity anymore. It would just, you know, give people a lot of the spontaneity, a lot of the like more freedom that I think people want. Cause I mean, I've talked to several people who are not like super big, you know, into the Disney fandom, but they're like, yeah, I was going to go down there in a couple of weeks with, you know, take my daughter to Disney World, but I couldn't get a reservation. So I guess we're going to Universal. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess it's not like they lost a customer because the park reservation system is put there to make sure they have enough people or whatever, but it felt like a thing that they were saying is like, well, why even bother? I'm just going to go to you. I'm going to go directly to the competitor and probably won't even try again. You know what I mean? I feel like it's very disheartening for people who they can't go, they want to plan a trip less than months and months in advance, and they're like, well, I'm not even going to bother.
I mean, I think the park reservation system's an easy one. I think like the little things along the way are probably the things that we'll see change. The right example, don't like, you know, the genie system reversed passes, but that's super unrealistic.
Right. Especially
I
because
also don't think
I'm pretty sure
we'll see
wasn't Iger
any
a
kind of
part
structural
of
changes of the like system. And I think um I think he was part of like Wednesday, but I don't remember if he was there. He was, you know,
yeah.
major planning anything. But like, I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot that we should realistically expect from this.
I know. That's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, and like the one thing that I did want to point out is apparently an email went out to cast members and like basically start reorganizing and making structural changes. And I think that that's probably where we should probably expect to look at like what's next, like placed in what positions, and see if we can have like hope for those specific divisions. Like if they place somebody that shows a lot of promise in their media, we can expect a couple of movies and stuff like that. I think would be an interesting thing to
Yeah.
trying to
I think
find some more.
I think a lot of the divisions, and I think we talked briefly about this last time, are very spread thin. Like if they just would focus more on like putting out a couple of good quality things rather than a bunch of like half-assed things, I feel like that would instill a lot
Yeah.
of good feelings towards the company.
Right. And it requires me. I want to think that like, you know, they're not gonna rest on their laurels and everything's gonna be, you know, we're gonna turn back around and it's gonna be the Disney that we know and love, but also remembering that this is the same management that led us through Frozen Fever. So I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm looking for the article and I can't find it. Did you guys see the other guy that they like watching? Come on. You guys hear me? Or did I cut out?
He cut out.
Oh. So did you guys see that they let go of the chairman of media and entertainment and distribution from Disney as well?
He was like Chapek's right-hand man. Is that the guy
Yeah,
you're
so
talking about?
his yeah, I was looking at his like credentials, and he definitely is the definition of like intern to CEO in like 10 years, and it's kind of wild.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently he definitely was like Bob Iger's right-hand man too, so that's fun, but it's this whole thing is
Iger
just
or Chapek?
bizarre. Or Chapek, sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
he was Chapek's right-hand man, and this whole thing is like just very bizarre.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's all I can think is like that this is just so weird. I don't like obviously we don't remember, you know, when Iger was put out, but it just feels through this. Also, I want to share this meme that I found while I was looking for that. It's the Lord of the Rings title, and it's just a Return of the Bob.
The memes from this leadership change were also fantastic.
Yeah. If nothing else, that's like the one thing that I feel like the internet is going to remember this for. So, I mean, that's really all we had to talk about tonight. Did you guys want to keep this a short one? Did you want to go over the news that I had in here too? Because I had a couple little things.
Yeah, I mean, we can go over some news.
We'll keep this one relatively short this week, I guess, and discuss these three things I threw in here. So themed entertainment associations awards were recently. Disney's got a couple of those. We usually expect to see these because, you know, this is what Disney is good for. The three that they've received or are recognized with is Galactic Star Cruiser was recognized for an Outstanding Achievement Award. Main Street Electrical Parade received the THEA Classic Award, and Tokyo Disney Sea has received the Leisberg Applause Award, which recognizes outstanding theme parks worldwide. It's very exciting. I like these things, and I think that it's awesome when Disney gets recognized for stuff like that.
Main Street Electrical Parade getting love just absolutely warms my heart. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, maybe they should bring it back to us.
Would be great, right? Like, just give us like, you know, if this comes back during Bob Iger's tenure or 2 year, I guess we should say, I will take back everything bad that I've ever said about him. Like, just give me Electrical Parade.
Honestly, it's so funny because really, he could do so many little bitty things like that that would leave him in all the fandom's good graces. Imagine coming back, essentially overthrowing Chapek, and then just throwing in a little dash here, a little dash there, a little Main Street Electric Parade here. You know, just like he has the greatest opportunity to forever cement his legacy as a great Disney CEO and have people forget about that first term.
It's so funny you say that because, like, I was thinking about that the other day. Not that he could do so many little things here and there, but at the same time, I feel like he's had such a weird time with the Disney company, and the fact that this is now the third time he's come back. What is his legacy with the company? Just the CEO that would never leave? Like, let's see, what else did I have on here? Disney's Vacation Club Holidays in Hollywood Upcharge event is coming to Pizza Rizzo in December.
They really want people to go to Pizza Rizzo, I guess, because I can't think of another reason that this would be happening.
My favorite part about this is that this package It's only taking place the 15th and the 22nd, and it costs $159 for adults. Like, you could not pay me $159 to spend a day at Pizza Rizzo.
Could you imagine being DVC and this being the benefits you got? Like, I would be angry.
That's
Yeah,
another, like, God.
the only thing I always look at, and obviously, I feel like this is an obvious thing coming from me, is that when these ticket items, like these ticketed events come out, and it seems like an absurd amount, but then it says it includes alcohol, I'm like, well, I could probably drink $159 worth of alcohol.
Also
But-
includes park admission, apparently.
It's easy to do at Disney World.
See, okay, here's the thing, though. How many people that are DVC and have the money to go to this event are not also pass holders? That's,
Right.
I don't know about this one, man.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it's almost like they're saying like, ooh, admission is included, but we know you already have admission, so it's not like we're actually losing any money.
So here's my point: is that for $159, that's like probably 10 drinks at Disney that you could get. Would you rather spend $159 and have your 10 drinks in Pizza Rizzo, or do that anywhere else?
Okay, that's a very fair point.
Because I'm going for the latter.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I just want to point out that this is a beer and wine event, so it's not even liquor, which I feel like
Ooh.
is always more expensive.
And it doesn't tell me anything else. It's just late night, Disney admission, beer and wine, and that's it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Keeping it vague.
I mean, sure, why not? I feel like that's another demographic that it would be so easy to just win over again. Like, I feel like a lot of people that have DVC are also kind of slighted, or feel like they've been slighted.
Yeah.
DVC is like, we get upset about some of the perks or lack thereof that come to annual pass holders, but your DVC, that was like a 15-year commitment that you have to be pissed off about. We can always just say, I'm not going to renew my passes next year.
That's the part that
Right.
scares the crap out of me with DVC is like for the amount of things that they drop and get rid of, and I would be locked into a 15-year contract. That's insane.
Oh man, I don't. Even as much as we go, I'll be an annual pass holder through a lot, but I don't know if I could ever make that jump to DVC.
Right.
It's a scary commitment.
Yeah. And the last news topic that I have in here, speaking of DVC, they got a little bit of a perk that I feel like none of them are going to use. 30% off discounted Star Cruise or Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser for DVC members. Yeah, this took about as long as we thought it would.
That's interesting.
So instead of paying $4,000 for 3 nights, you could pay $2,800 per night or something.
Yeah. Just,
Uh-huh.
how long before annual pass holders get this discount? They've got to be next, right?
I mean, yeah. Honestly, I feel like I called this a while back when we talked about how long they're going to be able to keep Galactic Star Cruiser at 100% capacity, and at what point do they start offering discounts because they're not able to? And that was not that long ago. I was expecting it to be coming, but I was not expecting it this quickly.
No, not at all. So, I mean, that's all the news I had this week. Do you guys want to? Yeah, I feel like this big news is. I don't think I realized how shocking it was until we started talking about it. Like in the moment, I remember being very confused, excited, concerned, like a lot of emotions. But now I'm just like, this is so weird.
Yeah. You know, and
Yeah.
it's interesting just the positive fan reactions to it, the positive stock market reaction to it. It's, like I said, cautious optimism, but on the surface, and it looks like this is going to be a good thing. Maybe not as good as it necessarily could be, but better than the way things were going. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
At least gives us a little hope, maybe, that they can turn it around.
Hmm.
I have some parting thoughts for Bob Chapek and
Oh.
some new words for Bob Iger. So to Bob Chapek,
You're fired.
and
Oh,
to
God.
Bob Iger,
Hello?
Oh, my God. Soundboard.
it's back.
It's back.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.